Hey everyone, so today I'm in the office as you can see, not out in the woods or anything like that, but I did a video yesterday in International Falls, Minnesota, where I went to Voyageurs National Park, our one and only national park here in Minnesota. So anyway, that's coming, but I was there yesterday, I want to tell a story that when I was there, it reminded me of a story. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I wrote a book called From Turmoil to Triumph. It's been out for about a year now, and you can find it at antonehemstock.com. But there's a story I didn't think of till yesterday that I would have probably put in the book. And but when you're writing a book, you try to remember everything. It's a memoir, and sometimes stuff just keeps coming long after the book has been put out. So anyway, I'll tell you the story. So I was a mechanic in my earlier life, and I was working for a place called Schmelz Countryside Volkswagen. So I was a VW tech, and it was early in my career as a tech. I'm a 20-year-old, kid for the most part, and I'm working on Volkswagens. And it's so long ago, excuse me, it's so long ago that we still had Vanagons coming into the shop for repairs. And if you're not familiar with Vanagons, Romer, who you see me driving around in my old Volkswagen van, that is a Vanagon. So I was working on those at the dealership. So to get back to my story, we had a guy who was a prankster in the shop. And one day I came into work and I opened up my toolbox. I forgot to lock it, and my top drawer of my toolbox had been filled up with dirt right to the very top. So all my tools were under that dirt. So it took me probably 2 hours after I got to work before I could actually get going and doing any work, because I had to clean that mess up. It was just a pain in the ass. And I wasn't happy. And instead of getting mad and yelling and screaming and doing like what I used, probably would have done at the time. I don't know why I didn't, but I decided I wanted to get him back. So I'm going to put a picture of this, what I'm going to describe, so you guys know what I'm talking about. But see this here? Okay, so you put water in that thing and it heats it up, and then it's got the little thing, and you can put the hot water in your glass and put a tea bag in it or something. He had one of those every day next to his toolbox, and he would drink tea throughout the day. So one day I got there earlier than he did, and I filled that thing up because he already had it filled up with water from the day before. I filled it up with hot dogs, put a bunch of hot dogs in his tea water. And I went off and did my thing. I was wrenching and stuff and doing my thing while those hot dogs were over there warming up. So about 11 o'clock came around. I started walking around the shop, and I'm passing out buns. And I had the ketchup and mustard. And I said, "Come on, guys, free hot dogs." And everybody looked at me like, "Really? What? Where's this at? Let's go." And we walked over to his bay. That's what we called each other's work areas. It was your bay. And we walked over there, and I took the lid off, and I had my tongs, and I started passing out hot dogs. And the look on his face was just utter, confusion that turned into maybe anger. Well, it definitely turned into anger, because then he started yelling at me because he'd been drinking that water all morning. And then he turned me in to the management, and I got written up and I almost got fired for that, even though he did the dirt thing in my drawer. But that is a story that to this day, that shop, even though all the techs are long gone, it's been passed on. So that story keeps right on going at that shop, because I've been back there for some work stuff in the past, and they all have heard about that story. So it's kind of a thing that keeps going. But that was probably my best prank ever. Got him really good. And he could give it out, but we found out that day he couldn't take it. And I don't know how much, I don't remember him ever pranking anybody after that. And he was known for that. At least he didn't prank me, and I don't remember him pranking anybody else after that. So hopefully he learned his lesson. And I ended up quitting that job. Our manager was a dink, and anyway, yeah, that's another story. But anyway, guys, that's my one story. I wish it would have made it in my book. I just didn't think about it. The famous hot dog prank. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.